To all my federal workers out there right now, man, I feel you. I really do hope things are going to get better for you. I know this government shutdown is really hurting so many families. And when I seen some of these videos, it's extremely heartbreaking. Let's watch it.
A pay stub for an air traffic controller showing Tuesday's check will be for $0. It's why controller Jack Chris spends his days off driving DoorDash.
You're not getting a tip.
The single dad is trying to make some extra money to help cover the cost of his daughter's high school tuition. How stressful is life right now with this shutdown?
Yeah, man. It's been incredibly difficult. You can feel the tension, and it's heavy, and it hurts.
As the government shutdown rolls into its 25th day, Congress remains unable to make a deal.
She tipped $2 yesterday.
Chris says he's tapped his retirement funds and taken out a high-interest short-term loan to make sure he has the cash to weather a long shutdown. From the standpoint of a single working dad, how is all of this impacting life at home?
That's a great question. It's hard enough just going to work. Now when you add in not getting paid, that's when you just like multiply the level of pressure. Air traffic is a safety-sensitive position. The margin of error is zero. So if you think about it, it's pressure on top of pressure when you don't know exactly when you'll get paid based on politics.
The Department of Transportation says it's continued to see an increased number of sick calls from controllers, leading to spotty staffing shortages.
Well, I don't want my air traffic controllers to take a second job, but they're having to make decisions about how they spend their time to make sure they put food on their table, feed their kids, and support their family members.
And that's true. What else are they going to do right now, the federal workers that are struggling not receiving a paycheck? I mean, just imagine, would you go to work right now and then just like, hey, look, you're being furloughed. You could either stay home, not get paid, but we really need you. You're essential, so you need to come in and not get paid. And you know it has nothing to do with your performance, nothing at all. It has to do with just upper management, having some beef with other upper management, the board members. It's like, who cares about all that? Now listen, I'm not going to make this video all about politics, but politics does have a part to play in this, obviously a huge part to play in this. But the playing around with these federal workers and not getting paid is really, really unfortunate, especially when they had nothing to do with it. And all I'm seeing is videos out there, people just saying, well, you know what? You knew what you were getting into. And like, I don't know why, but they just treat federal employees as if they are like on one side of the aisle, like if they are politicians, right? They're not. They're just regular civilians that want to work. And I see so much stuff getting thrown at them about just them being called lazy and they get what they deserve and all of this nonsense. And it's truly unfair. They have nothing to do with it. They're regular people like you and I. Just want to go to work, get a paycheck, and live our life. Now, that guy that they showed, he's been all over the internet. I've been seeing a lot of videos of him. And actually, DoorDash gave him $10,000 to help his family out because they see how he's struggling and they see his story is really impactful. And a lot of other families are going through the same thing. And to put things in perspective for everyone out there, air traffic controllers, the median pay that they get is $144,000. That is not the average, that's not the median for American households. So the amount of money you make as an air traffic controller is extremely high. And due to that, can you imagine not receiving that check, being a single dad, keeping everything afloat in your household, and you're missing that big chunk? Doing DoorDash, Uber Eats is not going to supplement that at all. Trust me, I did it. It's not enough. But this is just showing the lengths that people are going to try to get ahead. And unfortunately, this is going to go on for a while. 35 days is the longest that it's been for the government shutdown. I'm thinking this is going to break it.
It's a lot of uncertainty. Bills continue to pile up.
Federal workers missed their first full paycheck today, and many of them now struggling to just put food on the table.
We are here to serve everyone, but right now our focus is on the over 700,000 employees that are displaced because of the government shutdown.
Hundreds of people showed up to a food bank here in Southeast DC where they were given produce, personal hygiene items, other household goods. And I talked to some of those federal workers who say they are now struggling, some of them dedicating their entire lives to government service. Now they're asking the government for help.
This is my first furlough since I've been in federal service for the last 17 years. I have children to feed, I have a family to take care of, I have a mortgage to pay. So it's a lot of uncertainty. I've had to tap into my savings, but I'm blessed that there's opportunities like this for us to receive assistance.
And Pastor Will, who helped organize today's donation effort, said he's prepared to have this for federal workers every single Friday of the government shutdown. At this point, though, there's no end in sight.
We wanted to let these federal workers know that, somebody cares and there's still hope. People, some of them I even know, have just expressed their gratefulness, their gratitude of just us being able to meet some of those needs for them.
That's great that the service is out there to actually care for these employees, and that something is being offered, at least for some food, right? The last thing you want to worry about is not having food. So I really love the fact that the community is getting together, because let's be honest, these 700,000 employees, they're all concentrated within the DMV area. That's it, right? It's not throughout the whole United States. No, it's throughout the DMV area that a lot of these employees are being furloughed. So they are feeling a big hit in their community. And it's a really great thing to see the community getting together, the community getting together and taking care of their people. Because who else is, right? Obviously the government is not, they're playing this game. And it's just, man, it's a really sad situation. And it makes you think, imagine if you were in that situation, right? Imagine if you were in that situation, like what are the things that you can do? Yes, you can have an emergency fund. Yes, you could have budgeted, you could have done everything. But no one wants to tap into an emergency fund for some dumbass political stuff that's going on that's not allowing you to take that. Now you have to take that money out. Like you want to use that emergency money for like true emergencies, your car breaks down, or some family emergencies, some health issues, not simply because the government is shutting down. Like, no one wants to do that. Now, it's awesome to have a savings account, don't get me wrong, but to use it for that reason, it's like, man, politics, man. I'm telling you, politics is a mug. And now you got people choosing like to just bash these federal workers is something else, man. To all your federal workers out there, man, I really hope things get better for you. I understand everyone is treating you like you don't do a good job, you're horrible, whatever. They don't even know you, which is even more unfortunate. But really, guys, I really hope that you guys get back on your feet extremely quickly, because this is something that a huge amount of Americans cannot sustain, which is missing one paycheck. And you guys are about to miss two.
So I'm one of the lucky people who work for the federal government, and I'm considered essential. And so currently we've been going to work and not knowing when we're going to get paid, right? And it's big news. So this is something that's being talked about on social media, on the radio, on the news every day. And I got savings, so I wasn't necessarily tripping at first, but it's still like, who expects to go to work and get paid in the IOU, right? The bills don't stop. The bills don't care. And I have 3 kids, and me and my ex-husband don't really get along. So it's not like he's going to do anything extra or help anymore or anything like that or whatever. So, I've been just having conversations with my friends because people know where I work or whatever. And I'm so thankful and grateful for people who are currently on my team, because this motherfucker's telling me, don't touch your savings. Don't worry about it. You're going to be good. When they give you y'all shit, you're going to be straight. Like, don't trip, don't stress, don't worry about nothing. And it's not even just one person, but multiple people who are like, yo, I'm going to give you whatever I can. Or like, and I don't want to cry. I'm about to cry. I'm such a crybaby. But I want to cry because I'm not normally in a situation where I need people to do much for me. I'm always pouring into other people. So now that I'm in this position and to be in the other end and know like people got me how I got them, like I am just grateful. But the moral of this shit is the government really need to get this together, because it's people who may not have people around them who can help them. You know what I mean?
That is very true. And I give her props, man, because that's the one thing I told so many people is like, if you're going through this situation right now, the best thing for you to do is not stay quiet. You have to have this conversation with other people. I understand people are like having money conversations, or you think like everyone has their own lives and they want to hear you vent, but you have to have people where you could just talk to, and they could just help you out any way necessary. And it does not have to be financially, because the more you get a conversation with someone, they can hear you out. That's usually what they just want. The federal workers or anyone going through any type of financial struggle, they just want to hear someone just reassure them things are going to be all right, and that people have their back. But the number one thing people like to do during these times is they stay quiet, They stay isolated, and that magnifies the situation. Especially when you're going on social media and you're hearing about, this government's going to continue to shut down, and that politics are playing politics, and now you're thinking, oh man, what am I going to do? You get a payday loan, then you make your situation even worse. And the worst part about that is you're doing that all by yourself. Like, you're not actually having conversation with other people. So it's really important that you reach out to other people and just vent, right? Just vent about what's going on. It's okay. It's okay because, first of all, if you are a federal employee, everyone knows you're going through what you're going through. But it's okay to just have a conversation and let it out, because keeping everything inside is not going to help at all. It really isn't. And the advice someone's telling them is like, hey, don't use a savings account. That is a smart advice. Just try to hold on as much as you can. Cut back on all your dumb subscriptions or whatever the case may be. HBO Max might not be around for a bit. Your Paramount, whatever the hell you got going on in your life that you're just paying for that was like luxuries, remove that. Hold on as much as you can to your money until you get to a point where you have to use your savings. This should end soon. I really feel like it should end soon. But I do believe this is going to be the longest government shutdown on the books, which is 35 days. I think now it's like on day like 28. So, but I do think it's going to end soon, but still, man, you have to just hang on tight, because it's really unfortunate. You saw her breaking down, crying. I feel her, man. You just want to scream, right? You just want to you want to scream because this is just horrific. You never really signed up for this, and here you are.
Federal workers officially missed their first paycheck now. So, and I guess are negotiations even taking place in any way at this point?
No, none. And you and I have kind of come on here every day and talked about a version of this question, which is, are the talks going on? How are the talks, et cetera, et cetera? And there are no high-level negotiations at this hour between Republicans and Democrats. Democrats have consistently said that they are holding back their votes to get an extension of Obamacare tax credits that, if they are not extended by the end of the year, will expire and cause premiums for about 20 million Americans who are on that program to skyrocket. Republicans have said that while they're perhaps open to discussing that issue, that they will not negotiate while the government is shut down, and they accuse Democrats of holding the federal government hostage. And that has been the state of play for more than 3 weeks now. There is no end in sight.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think that the Republicans should just bend and be like, all right, listen, we understand that the Affordable Care Act, the subsidies are being in place right now, that's about to expire in December. Let's just get that renewed, because that's the thing that the American people need. That's simple. To me, it sounds simple. Maybe to others it doesn't, but to me it sounds simple. So to blame the shutdown on the Democrats, it seems like disingenuous, especially when there's something there that the government people need. And they would definitely need to have these subsidies. So just sign it. Seems like a little ask to me, not like a big ask. It doesn't need to extend to this point where all these federal employees are now not getting paid. Like you saw in the graphics, it was 500,000 employees who did not receive their first check. That's a lot of people. 500,000 people not receiving a paycheck is a lot. But it feels like this government back and forth stuff. Come on, man. Sign this deal. Move forward. That's it. This is a great thing. This is nothing that's crazy if you ask me. To me, it's simple, but maybe I'm wrong. You guys can drop a comment down below and let me know. But anyway, to the federal workers out there, I salute you. Hang tight. Things will get better. This is going to be a nasty storm, but we'll get better. And this will make you a better person. And in the future, whenever something like this happens, you'll be way more prepared. You'll be used to it, and you won't let it phase you as much as it did now. But until then, keep grinding, keep pushing, keep educating yourself and building up on your skills. That way, shit like this doesn't ruin you in your future. Hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Catch you guys in my next video. Peace.